There we go.
Good?
Yeah, great.
All right, guys. I want to give you guys a speech on how to be the James Bond of public speaking. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I get a lot of questions when I go out and when I'm here public speaking. How do I become smooth? And the way you become smooth, I want to give you guys three tips on how to be a better public speaker and how to be the James Bond, how to be the guy that all the girls look up to and all the guys want to be with. So the way you do that is you first. The thing is, guys, my whole life I wanted to be James Bond. My whole life I wanted to be like James Bond. I looked up to James Bond, man. He was that cool guy, just drives in cool cars and stuff. And I took notes and stuff. I would watch all his movies, and I'd implement them, and when I go on dates and stuff. But the thing is, look at me, I'm trembling, my legs shaking. I can't be James Bond. I'm a scaredy cat, dude. God, what am I doing? I can't be James Bond. The thing is, guys, you shouldn't be like James Bond. You gotta be yourself. Because if you be like James Bond and you're not James Bond, you're gonna look weird. You're gonna look like this. You don't wanna look like this. You don't wanna be that guy. Because then you're gonna be like going on a date or something, and the girl's gonna see you trembling. She'll be like, why is James Bond being so not James Bond? You know what I mean? So there's no secrets. Just be yourself and own it. Yeah.
So Millie, what would you say you comment on?
We can learn as much from watching people speak by what they do right as well as what they need improvement on. You have to look at both. And the stuff they need improvement on, you want to be sure you don't do that when you speak. And the stuff they do right, then you want to emulate that. And speaking, as you observe, has got two categories to it, substance and style. And Victor's substance is great. He was talking about James Bond. But we filter that out. Filter out the substance. We're going to focus on style. And look at Victor's style. Okay? His volume, he kind of didn't vary it. Volume stayed constant the whole time. Whereas in the Nick Selby thing, there was huge variation in volume. There was times when he spoke really loud, and there was times when he spoke softly. And in terms of Victor's speaking, his tone was varied. Notice how he used different tones and different facial expressions when he talked about the different aspects of relating his personality to James Bond, and that was good. There's 5 major categories that you divide your public speech into. You've got your opening, you've got your verbal, you've got your visual, you've got your theatrics, and you've got your closing. That's 5. Unlike most of the other speakers, Victor threw in some of the theatrics. He did acting, where he plopped down and did a push-up. And he used humor. Those are both theatrics. There's actually 12 theatrics you can throw into a speech to make it better and to spice it up. He used lots of pauses. And you notice in Nick's speech, like Victor's, you give dramatic pauses, either before or after something that's important. The audience can tell when your pause is unintentional, so you want to try to avoid that. The next thing I'm going to talk about is, that's an unintentional pause. So the audience can always pick up on it. Victor didn't have any of those. All these pauses were intentional. Now, he had no verbal distractions. Gio, if you were noticing, had about 5 verbal distractions. Let me illustrate verbal distractions. Today, we're going to talk about the sex life of the nematode. All those are verbal distractions. Victor didn't have any. Gio, you had about